Hello IAME members. This is your Board of Director member, Rich White, from the Cumberland River Campground on the Cumberland River. As you can see here at the dock, it's a pretty murky river, about 5 or 6 foot deep, average depth. And I really didn't expect to see much. Kind of surprised. The Gladius Mini had to get all the way to the bottom before I could really see anything. And once it got to the bottom and I got a little bit better feel for the controls, it had surprisingly good visibility. The camera seemed to switch modes a little bit, changing the color a little bit from light to dark, but you can see that fish swim by just fine. And when I didn't run into stuff with it, it did a pretty good job. You could pretty well see what was ahead of you. Just a couple feet visibility here, but you really couldn't see just a couple inches below the surface. Did have a little trouble from running into the bottom all the time. Had to pull it up to the surface and shake it out. Had a little bit of difficulty getting the silt and the sand out of the internal ballast chamber of the unit. Shook it out a little bit and put it back in the water, and it seemed to go right on. As you can see here again, get down to the bottom. The ability to take screenshots or toggle in between video and still shot mode is a little bit cumbersome. I found it a little easier to just leave it in video record mode and use the screenshot capability of the phone that I was using as a viewer. Instead of trying to toggle back and forth, it would be nice to just be able to put it into record mode when you turn it on and just let it go and not have to worry about accidentally hitting the button and stopping the video. Because really, once you have it running, the ability to just take screenshots with your phone or iPad or whatever you're using as a viewer seems to work well. But I was again surprised. You know, here we are about 6 foot deep in a river, pretty slow moving water. During the day, the sunlight seemed to affect it a little bit, but pretty impressive footage for something that if you were to dive in, you'd be able to see absolutely nothing, really. Here we're at 5.3 feet, and the silt is pretty evident, and I think the headlights on the camera and just the viewing angle is pretty impressive. Yet again, I'm not disappointed with the Gladius Mini, especially for the price. It really seems to be a pretty good piece of equipment. You know, you could use this in surprisingly murky water, and it's still pretty effective. So that's my latest trial run.